How's it going, guys? Dynamite here, coming to you as always from the Digital Warfare 24/7 forums, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a gameplay of Domination on Slums featuring Unknown Male, who is a Canadian player and who is also going to be playing on the PlayStation 3. There you see him making a very nice flank and picking up the triple kill before looking into Graveyard and picking those guys up. Now right here, let's actually do our first look in. You saw as he ran through Graveyard, there was actually a guy to his left who noticed him, and he ran from him and then turned and was distracted by a guy behind the van. Now at this point he has two people converging on him from different directions. I would have liked to have seen him retreat maybe over to the room to his left, but basically he is distracted by the guy behind the van. The guy who noticed him initially comes through. I believe he forgot about him because he was distracted, and that's why he ends up picking up this first death here. Now he's going to respawn undaunted, and he is going to push up, seeing that they still need to capture B. Now as he moves up here, he's going to see that there's a guy in blue room, so he's going to push through that direction. They capture B, and now he's going to look to see the guys coming up from Graveyard. He picks up a double there and gains a height advantage on this guy to pick up the clean triple. Really nice play by him. Now let's take a look at this play right here, and I'm going to pause it. He has stock on this PDW. I really would have liked to have seen him strafe behind cover there, behind the little pedestal that the statue was on top of. Instead, he actually strafes out from behind cover and engages these three guys coming from Graveyard directly. I think it would have been much better if he had strafed behind cover. That is going to cost him a death there. He's going to respawn and hear that they are capturing B, so he is going to throw an EMP grenade on them, which is a really good call. The EMP grenade is by far my favorite tactical, and what it does is it takes away the enemy's minimap and throws them into complete confusion because they can't tell where their enemies are facing, where their friendlies are facing, where anyone's coming from, and they basically just have to guess. Now right there, let's pause it. The reason why he died here is because he failed to recognize a spawn flip. What he doesn't recognize is that he has teammates that are spawning back at A, but he has two teammates that are actually capping C right now. And as they capture it, that means the enemy team isn't going to be able to spawn on A flag. They aren't going to be able to spawn on C flag, so they're going to be forced to a secondary spawn position. And in this case, it ends up being directly behind him, which is one of the spots he should have been considering. Instead, he's still looking at C, thinking, oh, they're still spawning that side because that's the side that they hold a flag on. Don't ever assume just because the enemy holds a flag on a certain side that that's where they're spawning. In this case, if he had looked at his player's positioning, he could have figured that out. So let's roll here as he is going to respawn, again undaunted. He is going to run through Graveyard here that they're capturing B. He's going to pop out and take out 1, 2. Now there is a third guy there, but he doesn't get greedy. I would have liked to have seen him thrown a C4 there at that point to pick the last guy off. He is going to try instead to flank through B, but a teammate beats him to it. Now he sees that they've captured A, so he's going to set up here and try to pick them off as they're coming up out of their spawn. He does a really good job of checking to his right there and then holding his fire. That's going to allow him to come up behind these guys. Again, as we saw in the last gameplay I put up, he does a really good job of waiting to hold his fire. Now right there, I feel like he could have really done that a little bit better. So let's back that up just a little bit and let's take a look at his options here. His scavenger has in fact resupplied his C4. I really would have liked to have seen him lead into that spawn with a C4 and then maybe poked around and tried to pick a couple people off. Rushing right in there when you have a C4 that you can throw over the wall and maybe even pick up a quad on the guys coming off of A spawn would have been a lot better of a decision there in my humble opinion. So following this death that he suffers at the hand of that riot shielder, he is going to respawn back at CDOM, and he is going to call in his UAV and start pushing back up to B to try to contain the enemy in their spawn. He sees them capping B, throws an EMP grenade, actually hits the guy that he's aiming at. Now right here, he strafes behind cover, he throws the C4 over, and that's what I was looking for. What I was looking for was him to really utilize that C4 to throw it over walls and avoid direct line of sight. Now right there he's taken out from his left. Let's look at the minimap. You will see that there are 1, 2, 3 people actually advancing on B-Dom. He was interested in taking out the 2 people there first and foremost because they were capturing the flag. I think that's good prioritization. But he seems to be taken very much off guard by the guy who comes to the left. And again, if you look at the minimap, he should have identified there were 3 people coming from A spawn that he should have dealt with. So respawning here after picking up those 2 defends, still a halfway decent play. He's going to push up through the middle and see them losing B. He's going to pick up a couple, toss that C4 over, and that is what I was looking for him to do the first time he was in that situation, to finish off the last person on B. The walls are low enough on this map that you can really throw C4s over them extremely easily. actually. There you see him EMPing that corner to prepare his way in, and there you see him using the stock on his PDW to juke that guy and end up getting the kill. He's going to turn back this way and see people advancing up. Now, he knows there's a guy in blue room right now, so he's going to push over there to blue room, but he doesn't check his corner. He's a little bit too eager to pick up that kill, and I feel like that's why he died in that particular situation. With 2 minutes left in the round, he is going to be pushing back with intent to capture B. He sees on the UAV that they are pretty well set up in B-Dom, so he is going to hang out in Graveyard until something materializes, some sort of opening that is going to allow him to push the flag. Picks up that guy, but gets taken out through Graveyard. Probably would have liked him to have flanked a little bit more decisively there to try to open up an avenue of attack for him and his teammates on B. Now there he's going to pre-nade with the EMP, and it may seem through a lot of this gameplay that the enemies are just completely oblivious to his presence, and it's like, wow, he's playing really bad teammates, right? Actually, a really big part of that is the fact that he's calling in those EMPs and denying them vision. Now, right there, I feel like he really should have stayed further behind cover there. He actually tries to cap the flag right in the middle, and if we actually go back to that real quick and look, you'll see that his friendly was looking towards blue room. Well, he was looking towards center initially, but then he's like, no, I want to check blue room. He should have allowed his teammate to continue to watch blue room. If one of your teammates is watching a particular direction and it's your responsibility to watch another direction, you really have to make sure you stay ADS'd or at least looking at that area, and that is the reason why his team wasn't able to pull off the cap and why he suffered that death in that particular situation. So now we're going to see him flanking down the left side. He sees a guy on statue on his UAV and is able to pick him up. He's going to establish himself here. You'll notice he's not going for the cap immediately. He wants to make sure that his teammates have time to get out of their spawn. He's going to be fending them off with EMPs, and now watch this. He's going to lay prone in this shadowy area, which is actually a really good decision on how to cap B. You might think he's exposed, but you really blend in pretty well with that shadowy area, and it allows you vision in the blue room from an unexpected angle as well as towards the center. Now he's going to be running back towards A to try to catch them as they spawn. He sees 3 guys running around that corner to middle. Realizes he's not going to be able to chase them, looks to his right instead and picks up a few people. He instead loops back around to the left in order to intercept those people, those 3 that he saw earlier, and he's able to pick one of them off. Now he's running around the outside of statue. He is again going to pre-nade that corner, and right here, unfortunately, he again fails to realize that there has been a spawn flip. Those 2 guys come from Graveyard. He's looking around. He does not realize that the spawns have flipped back to C because his teammates are capturing A. He should have been clued into that, both because they were losing or because they were capturing A, and because he had a couple enemies that had already come from that side. So would like to see him identifying those spawn flips a little bit better. Alrighty guys, so let's get into the second round here. Now this round is where the magic is gonna start happening. The kill streaks are gonna start dropping, but first of all he's going to stop and pick up the cap on C-Dom. Now he is not going to go up the middle through Graveyard. He is instead going to flank around the left, and when he doesn't see anyone in front of him immediately, he is going to pre-nade B with the EMP, get them all disoriented, takes them out with a well-placed C4. He exposes himself a little riskily, jumping across there to get that riot shield guy, but everything ends up working out for him okay. Now, he pokes out this way. He should have known that they had already killed, his teammates had already killed that enemy, so he instead swings back to middle and up through Graveyard. Now, right there, I'd like to stop and talk a little bit about the concept of momentum. Now, you saw as he was running through Graveyard there, he was pursuing that guy, he ended up killing him, and at this point, he has his back to the direction that the enemy are going to be spawning in. Now, what he could have done is turned around and actually headed right back towards where his enemies were. That would have been the fastest route to re-engage them. But he has momentum going towards Graveyard in that that's the way he's facing and that's the way he's sprinting. It's going to take time for him to turn around and re-engage from another direction. Plus, he doesn't have any cover to engage behind. So instead, he allows his momentum to carry him forward and into an area where he's safe. This is something that can actually apply to when you're running past an enemy who's shooting you from behind cover. If you get past a certain point, it can be easier to just keep running even if it's towards other enemies than it is to turn around because you're risking getting shot while you're in the process of turning around. Now he's going to pick up that guy back by the car and relocate back to fire off to his left. and from this point he is going to observe enemies poking into his room. He's going to come back around to this side, pick up the reload. He's real close to his stealth chopper at this point, and now he's going to toss a nade out there in an effort to pick up the assist that will get him his stealth chopper, and there it is. Another great thing about the EMP is that it will get you those assist points like crazy because they have such a huge radius and influence so many people. Now here you might be wondering, what is he doing? He's played so aggressive, now he's playing really passive. What he's doing is, and I actually really like this kill streak setup, is he's waiting for his stealth chopper to just get him 3 kills, or 2 kills and then maybe 1 assist. But basically what this does is it helps you earn your VSAT a lot earlier, because you have that stealth chopper that you can use to chain to it. And you see there he uses his C4 to pick up a kill on the riot shielder, which is going to give him his VSAT, and with the power of his VSAT he is going to push in aggressively now that he has vision. He is hit by an EMP grenade there, and look at how debilitating this is. He has no idea where his teammates are except the ones he can see in front of him. He's still EMP'd even after having capped, and as he goes up to position himself on top of statue, as soon as the EMP effects drop, he is instantly confronted by 2 people who are on either side of him. And that is why I can't emphasize this enough. The EMP grenade is crucial for countering VSATs. Everyone should keep a class with 2 EMPs on it in case the enemies call in a VSAT. With that, you can also attack enemy score streaks that require multiple EMPs to destroy, like the AGR. It's just a really good idea. It's for everyone to have a counter class with that sort of setup. So now he's going to be walking in this way. He goes in through blue room and ends up not picking up that guy, but his enemy takes it out. Now he's going to come over this way, and I'd like to see him using his C4. There it is. He was using his stock to bounce back and forth to give himself an advantage on that guy to counter his head glitch placement, and you see he does that again on that guy on the dumpster. Turns back and takes out the guy towards statue, and then one more guy who is headed towards graveyard. Now at this point he is already well on his way to his next stealth chopper. He's going to strafe around that corner with his stock, and a nice little jump move there to avoid fire that was coming from the direction opposite graveyard. He sees them on B, so he's going to toss a C4 over there. Doesn't end up picking anyone up, but he does not allow that to phase him. He is going to wait behind cover and pick up that guy. He's going to be hiding behind this raised pedestal in the middle. Now you can see once again he wants to call in that VSAT, but he can't call it in because he's EMP, and it probably is a better idea that he doesn't call it in because he isn't going to be able to get much use out of it anyway until that EMP drops. So as it does drop, he is going to be going to town on these guys. He is going to be trying to get as many kills as he possibly can. His stealth chopper is going to be up there, and it's really interesting to note that the stealth chopper and the VSAT are going to have an additive effect, because it's a lot harder to shoot down a stealth chopper when someone knows exactly where you are on a VSAT and they're just shooting you. Right there, that he really should have been more observant as to where those people were on his radar. He just basically let that opportunity go to waste there to engage those guys separately. And by the time they got together, he really couldn't do much of anything. You'll see him throwing C4 over the wall here, trying to hit those guys with the VSAT. When he doesn't hit them, he pushes in and hip fires, which is going to result in him picking up a kill. Observe how long he's going to be stunned or EMP'd for. It is just crazy. Look, he's looking around because he doesn't have vision from anywhere. He doesn't know where anyone is. When you're hit by an EMP, I would recommend getting next to a teammate, because that teammate can help look for you, and you can at least see on your screen, not on your minimap, but on your screen, which way he's going and which way he's looking. And there's a chance that he might not be affected by the EMP grenade. He probably is if you're close to him, but that is one good option for dealing with being EMP'd. Another obviously would be using Hacker, but that is a perk where it's going to take up your slot that you need for toughness. You see him popping out there to try to pick up a few last people, and that is going to finish the game. Hope you guys learned a lot from that. I know I did. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned until next time.